After the horrific Charleston shootings, in which a crazy right-wing terrorist, Dylan Roof, walked into a historic black church and shot and killed 9 people, this country is still denying the serious need to take guns out of the hands of the wrong people. And it is absolutely frustrating. Because how many times have we had this conversation? After Columbine, after Virginia Tech, after the movie theater shootings, after Sandy Hook, and now this, and after, of course, so many more terrible mass shootings in America, we always look ourselves in the mirror and ask ourselves, should we take guns out of the hands of the wrong people? But yet we always end up with the incorrect answer. No. Second Amendment rights, bro. Anybody has the right to have whatever gun of their choosing, according to the freaking Constitution. And if you don't like it, then get the heck out. The NRA, they send droves and droves of people down to Congress, and they remind our bought-off legislators just who gave them hundreds of thousands of dollars to get their sorry butts in Congress in the first place. And then whoop-de-doo, anytime any bill comes up that takes guns out of the hands of the wrong people and restricts military-grade weapons being on our streets, that bill is voted down. And no serious action is done to prevent one of these horrific acts of gun violence to occur again. Aren't we sick and tired of this same old cycle? Because I've had enough of this nonsense. So today, to bring attention to what is one of the major issues facing this country, guns, I'm going to bring up facts and statistics that support the obvious answer to these problems. Taking guns out of the hands of the wrong people. Yes, gun control. Let's begin. Now, one of the main arguments that supporters of gun control makes is, well, I need it for self-defense. If a criminal walks into my home, barges in, and tries to kill me and my family, I need something to defend myself. Okay, that is an understandable point. You want protection in the case of an emergency, not just for you, but for your family. I can respect that. However, the statistics are not on your side. According to the Violence Policy Center, for every justifiable homicide by civilians in the United States, in layman's terms, for every time that you killed somebody in self-defense, there are 32 criminal homicides committed with a firearm. So in this country, for every time you killed somebody in self-defense, 32 other people were killed in cold blood. In fact, in 2012, there were only 259 of those justifiable homicides, the self-defense kills. But instead, there were 8,342 criminal homicides in the United States committed with a gun. Amazing. Another statistic from the Violence Policy Center. In all of the times that people are targeted for property crimes, such as burglaries, robberies, etc., only 0.1% of the time, 1 in 1,000 times, people used firearms for self-defense. Well, there went the self-defense argument. Only 0.1% of the times that you actually needed that gun for protection, you used it. That means 99.9% of the time, you were not using that gun for protection. But you need it for self-defense. Well then, bro, use it for self-defense. Incredible. Now, another argument that people make for gun rights is that this one argument, it's actually one that our founding fathers made in support of the Second Amendment back in the day. And it's that, well, we have to protect ourselves against tyranny. I mean, what if Obama goes all out Hitler on us and starts throwing people in camps and killing people left and right and trying to take over the world? I mean, we have to fight back. And we need our guns for that. That's one of the most far-fetched arguments I've ever heard on any issue. Are you for real? No, see, this is an argument in 2015, not in the developed world. Now, maybe back in the day when we were fresh off being freed from a greedy king who taxed us like there was no tomorrow, it's plausible. You had revolutions going on left and right across the world. Hey, if you're scared the government is going to go haywire back then, I understand. Now? Get out of here with that mess, man. You want to allow tens of thousands of people to be killed each year by these weapons because of something that hasn't occurred in nearly 250 years of our country's history? You must be joking. So now that the two main gun rights arguments have been debunked, now we must specify how exactly we go about getting guns out of the hands of the wrong people. First policy I would put in place: universal background checks. Without question. If you want to purchase a firearm in the United States of America, you must go through extensive reviews of your emotional, social, and physical state if you want a gun. If you have any criminal background, any mental issues, you are automatically disqualified from this process. You simply cannot have a gun. So yes, after this extensive background checks on your life and your mental and emotional state, yes, you can have a gun. But then again, only specific types of guns. Assault rifles, semi-automatics, these military-grade weapons. Why? Why do you need these weapons to go hunting or to go target shooting? All of these recreational uses for guns. Why do you need an AR-15? You need an assault rifle to kill a bird? You need a semi-automatic weapon to hit a bullseye on a target? No, you don't. Especially if it comes at the cost of tens of thousands of lives each year. Ban semi-automatics, assault rifles, or any military-grade weapon. Ban it. Now, the effectiveness of these laws, they come into question because in the present, there are so many guns in America. Over 300 million of them. Dude, that's enough to arm every single person in the country. There's no plausible way that you can get all of the banned weapons off the streets and get guns out of the hands of all of the criminals and all of those with mental health issues. So this is where the plan comes in, to pay people to turn in guns and turn in those who should not have guns. Pay people a significant portion of the gun's value that they are turning in or reporting, and the U.S. government destroys that gun. Now, this plan was a huge success over in Australia. Now, I know, different socioeconomic situations, different circumstances, different region of the world. I get it. But it's worth a shot, because unless you want the government barging into every single household of America, searching every person in the country for illegal guns and checking out these people to see if they should have guns, well, this is one of the only plausible solutions I can think of. And in all seriousness, if you guys think of a better way to take guns out of the hands of the wrong people, for real, please leave it in the comments section, and I'll be sure to mention it in a future video, because this is something that has to get done. Okay, when you have 32,000 people dying each year by way of a firearm, we have a serious problem in this country, and we have got to limit the amount of guns in our country. There is a gun for every person in America. That's the highest amount of guns per person in the entire world. You know, I think this is also the root cause of a lot of other issues. Now, obviously, more guns in many cases, not all, but many cases, leads to more homicides. The U.S., it has one of the highest murder rates in the entire developed world, at 5 homicides per 100,000 people, meaning 5 people out of 100,000 will be murder victims. And here, I'm not trying to defend the police. Many police forces in this country, they act with unspeakable brutality, killing unarmed people at unheard of rates every day, hearing something new about how people are beat up or killed for no reason. I'm not defending the police, but here's an explanation for all of these cases of police brutality. The police, they walk around with a hand on their gun at all times, jumping every time they see a black person. Oh my God, you're black. Or somebody who doesn't comply with every exact thing that they say. Because the citizens, they have a hand on their gun as well. So it just creates a culture of anxiety, right? Everybody's jumping around ready to kill one another because just about everybody else is jumping around ready to kill somebody, hand on their gun. It's unhealthy and does not belong in the 21st century. So, bottom line, limit the amount of guns on the streets. in the hands of the wrong people by extensive, strict background checks on a person's life and mental state. And then you ban military-grade weapons across the entire country. And then finally, you pay people about 1/2 to 2/3 of the value of illegal guns that they turn in or report. This model has worked in other countries, and I believe that if we implement this model with some force and urgency, we can take guns out of the hands of the wrong people and live in a safer society overall. Thank you all for listening to New Progressive Era. Remember to hit that subscribe button, spam that like button, and visit the comments section below. And if you want more videos like this one, you already know, check out the rest of the channel. And do not forget, hit me up on Twitter at New Liberal Era. Have a fantastic day, everybody. Sayonara.